So if I'm honest, I came to Brazil not knowing anything about the country. I knew they spoke Portuguese. I knew I'd be eating beans and rice. That's about it.
5 minutes for Fergie. 5 minutes for Fergie. Yeah.
I didn't know anyone that I'd be living with or any of the people that I'd be working with. I didn't speak any Portuguese. But I got here and God did amazing work in me. He totally brought me here and calmed me and silenced me and did a ton of work. I absolutely fell in love with children, and my students meant the world to me. They still do. It's a little hard coming back because they don't remember me like I remember them. You know, for me, they're like, I spent 6 months with them and they're like my whole world. But for them, I'm one of many interns, which is a good thing. They should be exposed to a lot of different sides of America and a lot of different English and people who love God, so that they can see different ways that God works in people. Coming into this community alone, I never felt alone. You go to church and while there's a language barrier, you are embraced and loved and appreciated, and it is communicated to you at school and at church that you are so loved. So it's been fun to share that with my husband. It's been fun to let him feel how touchy people here are and how loved you can feel, and just feel what it's like to pour into some kids and then see the fruit a few years later, and hear what amazing English they're speaking, because that is really impressive.
I was very interested in Brazil because it's what I think changed my wife. We went to college together and we're really good friends, and she kind of just up and left and went to Brazil with a chance, and really got to know her better. Saw the Lord change her, started changing us as a couple. When she returned, we married really fast, and it had always been an idea to come back here and share that with her. And I think she prepped me a lot for it. I think what shocked me the most was probably the driving here. It's very, I guess, organic, and it's not structured. I think my favorite thing about being in Brazil is the food. My wife and I are foodies. Ate a bunch of food, got sick on some of it, but definitely stuff that I will probably cherish forever, and just those experiences that we've been able to have as a couple, and just, I know, seeing the people and meeting how embracing everybody is. I know in the American church, when you do greetings, it's like see 3 people and not ask their name or how they're doing, and we went to church with greeting. Everybody got up and shook everybody's hands. It was not select a few. And even though I didn't speak Portuguese, they were very embracing. So it's nice to see that a culture that is about groups and not being individualistic.
So we're foster parents now. It's always been something for me to just love on kids. Like I said, when I was here, I just felt like a vessel God was pouring love through into these children, and you can't be like that in the classroom in America. So I went home and changed my mind about being a teacher, because I didn't feel like I could do it the way that I wanted to do it. And we started talking about becoming foster parents, because I love kids that aren't mine so immensely. So we tried for a few years to have a baby, and that's not really worked out for us, but that's okay, because our first foster call was a 2-week-old baby. And we knew from the get-go he had an adoptive family lined up. He was only supposed to be with us for about 3 months, but he ended up staying 8. And I can't fathom loving a baby of my own anymore. And you can't know what you've done for a baby, but I do know that he's able to attach, and he had a healthy and normal first 8 months of his life because of us. We've not had him about 5 weeks now, and it's probably been the worst 5 weeks of my life, but just knowing that because we poured into him so much and prayed over him so immensely, knowing that one day we could spend eternity with him is worth it all. And like 3 months after we got the baby, we got a 9-month-old boy, and at first we were completely overwhelmed. We had 2 kids within 8 months of each other, both still on bottles, both not sleeping through the night, and we were like, what did we do? But now we are probably going to be able to adopt that boy. And just seeing how God can put you in a really terribly rough spot and bless you immensely for it. He closed the door to the baby boy, but he opened the door to the other boy, and just knowing that we can love him, and now that he has a chance at eternity and a chance at knowing Jesus because he's in our home just makes me burst into tears every time I talk about it. If you're considering missions, check out a 6-month internship here because I promise it will change your life, even if it's really hard. And if you're considering loving on some kids that aren't yours, check out my blogs to see what foster parenting is like.
5 minutes of Fergie. 5 minutes of Fergie.